So hi, so I'm Kishnil. Yeah, I know, it's weird. So I bought this book called Project Kid Crafts That Go. I know I'm not really a kid anymore, but I like it, so yeah. So there was this one cool project inside, which was a yarn bike. This one. Cars passing by. Please bear with the cars passing by. We live by the highway, so yeah. So this is a yarn bike. Looks cool, right? Then I figured, why not make a car out of yarn? So I made this thing. It's a yarn car, if you didn't pick that up. So here's how I made it. How I made the yarn car. So here's the stuff I used. I used some yarn, some glue, some pins, scissors, a paintbrush, and this template. Link in the description. And you also need a straw and a skewer. I'll talk more about that later. So I started by pinning down, yes, pinning down, don't judge me, the pins on the template. Then I wrapped the yarn around something fairly heavy. I used the glue. And then started to place the yarn in between the gaps of the pins. I would do this 2 layers at a time and would add some glue each time I added a layer. The way I placed the pins weren't really that straight, so I only did 2 at a time to keep the size of each layer fairly the same. I repeated this process a couple of times and ended up with about 5 pieces, which was 2 layers each. And while I was waiting for the main pieces to dry, I started making the wheels. I started by wrapping the yarn in a circle until it was roughly as big as the circle in the template. And then I made 8 of those. So now I have 8 pieces for the wheels and 5 pieces for the body. And then I glued all the body pieces together and also the wheels by 2, so I could end up with 4 wheels. Oh yeah, actually the 5 pieces that I made for the body weren't thick enough for me. So I added another piece to the body. And then when all that was dried up, I added one final layer of glue to everything. Okay, so here's when the straw and the skewer come in. I cut the straw about the same length as the width of the body, and the skewer slightly longer than that. And then I wrapped some yarn around the skewer and the straw. After that, I glued a wheel to the end of the skewer, inserted the straw, and then added the other wheel to the other end. And then I made another one of those. And lastly, I glued those 2 pieces to the bottom of the body and BAM! I made a yarn car. Then it turns out this thing's pretty bouncy. So like, you can do a couple of tricks like, I'll show you with some B-roll